Hello and welcome back to another video. I am Angst, but you can call me Katie. I should warn you guys if I'm not very energetic in this video. I'm recording it the day after I've been sick and in bed, so bear with me. For this Taboo Tuesday, I wanted to do a video where I take a bunch of feminist quizzes. And I thought it might be interesting because I absolutely hate modern feminism and I openly call myself an egalitarian. So let's get started. We're going to start off with probably the most notorious feminist quiz out there, BuzzFeed's How Much of a Feminist Are You? And if you guys would like to take any of these quizzes, I'll leave the links in order in the description below. Let's get rolling. I would be willing to give up some of my salary if I had to so that equal pay in my workplace could be a reality. I would not, because the Equal Pay Act exists, so there's no reason that that would ever have to happen. I believe that men and women should be equal. I believe that men and women are equal. So, also not going to click that. I can't help but be bothered when a song includes misogynistic lyrics, even when I otherwise like the song. I don't give a fuck. I know who Bell Hooks is. I do not. I can define intersectional feminism. I can. I don't use the phrase, hey guys, when referring to a group of people that includes men and women. I do that. I have taken a women's and/or gender studies class. I have not, because I don't think there's any reason to. I think it's important to encourage girls to pursue science and math as a career. I'm only clicking this because if it's something they want, then absolutely they should be encouraged to pursue those careers. Women should be allowed to apply for a job if they fulfill 60% of the job requirements. I don't know about the word allowed being in there, but I'm not going to click this because I don't think you should be applying for a job if you don't meet even like 85–90% of the requirements. And even then it has to be things like not being bilingual, things that are optional like that, at least out where I live. I think we should change women's bathroom symbols to not include traditionally feminine clothing such as skirts, dresses, etc. I don't give a fuck. It's a bathroom. Why does it matter? I believe trans people should be able to use whichever bathroom they identify with. Kind of. I more believe that you should probably stick with the bathroom gender-based bullshit that you kind of seem to appear as, just for the sake of not having drama, or go before you leave the house like everybody else. I believe it's important to encourage women to negotiate. I don't think that's something that's important or that it needs to be encouraged. I think everybody should be willing to negotiate. I believe Jennifer Lawrence should earn as much as her male co-stars. I disagree. In the movie and television world, you're more paid on the amount of your screen time, your experience, how good you are. She shouldn't automatically get the same as a male co-star if she has 1/10 of the screen time. So I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. I do not think a movie should be released unless it passes the Bechdel test. I don't even know what that is. I believe all genders are entitled to the same social and political rights. If by all you mean both, yes. I can explain why 78 cents to the dollar is not a fully accurate description of the gender wage gap. I hit a button. I can explain that, and I have if you watch my wage gap debunking video, and it was 77 cents. So there's that. I believe that women who possess certain types of privilege are responsible for advocating for women who don't have their level of privilege. I disagree. Privilege is bullshit. I'll make a video about that sometime down the line. If I had a daughter, I would encourage her to be anything she wanted to be. If it were realistic, absolutely. I would do the same if I had a son. It doesn't matter. I would encourage them to be and achieve whatever they so choose. I would make it clear to my daughter from an early age that her identity should never be defined by her relationship status. I don't need to discuss that kind of stuff at an early age with my child. And if she ever has the impression that her identity is linked to her relationship status, we're going to be having problems. So, no. I believe it's important to compliment a woman's intelligence over her looks. I disagree. I feel like you should compliment people on whatever stands out the most, whether it be intelligence, looks, some kind of trait. I believe that a woman has the right to choose what happens to her body. Yeah, I also believe that a man has the right to choose what happens to his body. In an instance of sexual assault against a female, I am inclined to believe the assaulted person is telling the truth until proven otherwise. I am inclined to believe reports and factual evidence over what the person is saying. We live in a society where people lie a lot, so I hate to say it, but I disagree. I don't automatically believe people who claim assault. I can explain Marlene Dietrich's influence on women's fashion. I cannot, and I do not even know who she is. I know what a bad feminist is. Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, it's probably more broad than they assume. I believe that women should be able to dress however they want without it dictating how they are treated by society. To some extent, I agree. But if you're walking around looking like a two-bit whore, you're gonna get treated like it. Appear how you wish to be taken. Like, if you want to be taken seriously, don't go walking around flashing all of your private parts, you know? I've never said that a woman asked for it. In this context, I have not. When women have literally asked for something, I've said that they asked for it, but not in the rapey, touchy way that they're clearly meaning it. I'm offended by catcalling. I am not. I don't think women should get VIP treatment at nightclubs and bars just for being women. I do not. I think that's a little fishy and wrong. I think police brutality and its correlation with race is a feminist issue. Okay, let's completely disregard the fact that police brutality and correlation to race is a thing, because it's fucking not. Why in the world would race and anything police related be a feminist issue? Feminist being female. Those don't have a link. I think we should stop promoting models as the ideal female body type. I agree. There are a lot of mentally and physically unhealthy models, and we should probably stop trying to encourage women to achieve that level of body. It's unhealthy in most cases. I think we should stop photoshopping women's bodies in the media. I agree. Like, take it this way. If somebody had photos of you and they photoshopped you and replaced all of those on your Facebook, and then you look in the mirror and you don't look much anything like those pictures, you're gonna feel poorly about yourself. It's not okay. I've never called a woman bossy. I probably have, and oh, I didn't need to click that. My preschool teacher gave out awards, and I'm very loosely calling them awards, at the end of the year, I believe it was, and she gave a lot of the kids ones like most likely to be a CEO, most likely to be a police officer. Mine was just bossy. It was pretty strange for a young child. I think companies should offer more child-friendly time and programs to women who are having children. I don't. Why is it the company's business that you're having a child? Or what about a father, you know? Parents, bro. It takes two. Or two women, or two men for that matter. I believe that a woman should be offered the same opportunities for promotion as her male coworkers. That's already a thing. It kind of falls in line with the equal pay. Companies can't do shit like that. It's discrimination. I believe that if a woman wants to pay on a date, her date should let her. If she so chooses, sure. I believe that women should have easy access to birth control. I'm not going to click that because easy access falls in line with taxes, and I don't want to be paying for your birth control, much like I shouldn't have to pay for your knee surgery. You know, it's your thing. I believe that in a relationship, the domestic duties should be shared. Absolutely. I think that a couple should have equal responsibility over the aesthetic and cleanliness of their home. That's basically the same as the last one. I believe that men should be encouraged to be involved and make choices in the wedding planning process. Sure. I mean, I don't understand why a man wouldn't. It's not her day, it's their day as a pair of people, whether it be two men, two women, or a man and a woman. I believe that men and women have the same emotional strength. I disagree. It's kind of already been proven that in our brains and how they function, that that's not the case. I do not think that it is the responsibility of a man to protect a woman physically. Responsibility, no. But if someone you're with is obviously weaker and something happens, if you can step in, it may be encouraged that you do. That men and women should be equally encouraged to express their emotions. I'm not even going to click that. If you want to express your emotions, fucking express them. If you don't, then don't. I have never asked a woman why she does not have children. I have, but it was also a friend of mine who said she was going to have kids like a year out of high school, and I asked her. So I've never asked like a 30-year-old, why don't you have kids? So I'll click that because context. I would be equally excited to have a son or a daughter. Yeah. I think American workplace culture is often not structured in a way that is helpful or encouraging to women succeeding. Fuck, that sounds like a lot of bullshit. I think women have a responsibility to help and encourage other women to pursue their goals. No. No. That's not a woman thing. I think women are equally capable to men to be the President of the United States. I would agree. I just don't think Hillary Clinton is equally capable. I believe that women have no responsibility to make a conscious effort to always be friendly and polite. There are a lot of extremes in that statement. Do I believe women lack a responsibility in making a conscious effort to be friendly and polite? I mean, everybody should want to be a decent person and be kind and polite and whatever, so meh. I've never criticized a woman for not wearing makeup or wearing too much. I'm pretty sure that I have, but it would be in the case of, holy shit, could you pack more eyeshadow on, and wow, your foundation is 4 shades too dark. I believe a woman is a woman if that's what she calls herself, regardless of physical attributes and makeup. Other side of the coin for this one, if a man with a beard and an obvious penis says that they're a woman, this statement would say that they believe that's what they are. I disagree. If you're gonna be a woman, then be a woman. If you're gonna be a man, then be a man. Stop with all the fucking gender expression. You check 22 out of 50 on the list. You're pretty woke, and you definitely try to stay informed about what's going on in feminism and how you can make it better. No, because I want to end modern feminism. Oh boy. On to the next one. An equally popular quiz from BuzzFeed. Are you a feminist or a meninist? You can only be one. Watch me get exactly half. When a guy sees a woman on the street and says, nice ass, should she smile and thank him? Wrong. That type of treatment is alienating and dehumanizing. No, I mean, I know women have trouble taking compliments, but that's not really a compliment. Exactly, she didn't wear the short skirt for me not to notice. She should relax. Not all men are rapists. Wow. I'm gonna go with this one. It's not really a compliment, and a lot of women have issues taking compliments. Should men be given equal access to birth control pills? Yes, the burden of preventative birth control shouldn't be entirely on the woman's shoulders. I'd love to see the FDA put a male birth control pill on the market. No, I would never trust a man to take his birth control pills. Yes, women lie about being on birth control all the time. Then they force those men they tricked to pay child support. It's disgusting. These last two are very extreme, hardcore, not what the movements are about. They're very incorrect. I mean, while I would love to see a male birth control pill on the market, I don't necessarily think that it's entirely on the woman's shoulders. There are a lot of things a couple can do, or a man can do alone. So, I'm gonna click that because these two are fucking way out there. A man and a woman are on a date, and the woman offers to split the check should the man refuse. No, she wants equality. That's not what equality means. She also might feel uncomfortable if he pays, like she owes him something. Yes, men should definitely pay, assuming he asked her out. No, never pay for her. If you wanted to pay for sex, you'd just get a prostitute. She's after your money anyway. Oh my god. Wow, that last one is like hardcore woman hating. You should never be allowed to speak to people. Oof. On the grounds that if a woman asks a man out, she should pay, I'm gonna click this. I don't really agree about the whole uncomfortable and like she owes him something bullshit. Should men hold the door for women? No, unless you do it for both sexes. Women aren't weak, they can open their own doors. Yeah, I like to believe chivalry is not dead, it's a sign of respect. No, opening the door for women shows they control you. Do not give in. I mean, I do it for anybody who's within about 7 feet of the door, so I would click that. But women aren't weak, they can open their own doors. When a man and a woman get married, should she always take his last name? No, if she wants to keep her last name, she should. Taking the husband's last name is an outdated ritual from a time when women became the husband's property. She shouldn't be forced to, but it's a good idea. I hate those combination last names. They're so long. You spend all your life making a name for yourself, and then your bitch wife gets to take your respectful name and shit all over it. If you don't let her, you're somehow emasculated. Solution, don't get married. Wow. There are two Nickelodeon or Disney stars that got married. I think they're in their mid-20s now. They combined their last name, and it actually really worked. So I kind of agree with making a new name if you have issues. But only because of the first part. If she wants to keep her name, she should. I don't necessarily agree or believe that it's an outdated ritual. It's something you should maybe consider. You're joining two families. I don't care which party takes a name, but you should probably have the same last name just for the sake of genealogy. Makes things way easier. Should you take the red pill? I don't even know what that's about. Ugh, we're not in the Matrix. Every woman is not trying to manipulate and control you. Is the blue pill Zoloft and the red pill Motrin? Yes, swallow it whole and come to your senses. We live in a man-hating culture, and the only way to escape is to swear off women. Join me. Wow. I have no idea what any of this is about. But I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, God. I'm apparently a feminist. The person who believes in social, political, and economic equality of the sexes. No, that would be egalitarian. Equality of the sexes. Feminism is the social, political, and economic belief of equality for women to men. It has nothing to do with both sexes. So, no. On to the third one. This is a How Feminist Are You quiz from Playbuzz. On your first night out, your date offers to split the dinner tab with you. How do you react? The guy should pick up the tab. It's the manly thing to do. A woman offering to split the tab is totally insulting, especially after he went to all the trouble to decide what his date should wear, eat, and say all evening. Wait, what? A man doesn't decide what the date wears, eats, and says. What is that shit? Wait a second, I'm a woman. The guy should totally pick up the tab. Hey, that's really nice of her. Guys shouldn't have to pay all the time. I'm gonna go with that. A friend tells you he's quitting his job to become a full-time stay-at-home dad. Your response. You ask to hear more and tell him you support him being happy. You ask him if his wife made him do it. You start laughing loudly. After all, the idea is hilarious. You joke that you're going to have to revoke his man card. You offer excited congratulations. Well, I wouldn't necessarily congratulate my friend for becoming a stay-at-home dad. Maybe for having a kid? I mean, I'd probably want to hear more, find out the details behind it. But I'd be supportive. It's their life. One of your friends tells a joke about all women being dumb, but another friend objects and says it's not funny. You respond, start educating everyone about how jokes are totally a feminist issue. Cut your friend off by telling them your own joke and make sure it's way more funny and humiliating to women. You gotta protect your joke telling rights. Geez, lighten up, the joke didn't hurt a thing. Well, it's funny and it's true. Got any others? Yeah, it's kind of stupid to make jokes implying all women are the same. I'm gonna go with that one. I'd probably tell my friends that it's fucking stupid. Move on. You get assigned to write a paper about how women's sports don't get as much media coverage. I fucking disagree. You take the position. It's just a fact that men's sports are more interesting. No need to make a fuss and act like a victim about it. People should actively promote and celebrate women's sports so their events become as popular as men's sports. Women shouldn't do sports at all. It goes against their basic nature. Wow. If the media covered women's sports more people would watch. Can I disagree with all of these and just call bullshit? Yeah, there's no real response that I completely agree with. I mean, a lot of male male-dominated sports are more interesting to a majority of people. And I'm not necessarily agreeing that it's men's sports. I don't think women are excluded from the NFL. But then again, I think softball is sexist and women should be allowed to play baseball. I don't know. I'm very much you do you. I'm gonna go with they're more interesting because that's how it appears for the majority of people. But there was no real answer in that I fully agreed with. A friend caught his girlfriend cheating and hit her while in a heated argument. Your reaction: it's not okay to hit, but I totally understand how he felt. Nobody should ever hit another person for any reason. She should have seen that one coming. Play with fire, you're gonna get burned. If he just slapped her around a little bit without leaving marks, it might be good for her to learn a lesson. Ask if anyone has put her in touch with domestic violence resources. Wow. I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to suggest domestic violence resources, but I really disagree with slapping her around. I would understand how he felt, but I would never say that. I don't think it's okay to hit anybody for any reason. The biggest problem facing women today is there are too many expectations and women feel pressured to be a superwoman. Women put too much focus on working outside the home. They go for all stupid jerks, ignoring actual nice guys who deserve them. It's a challenge to find enough support to create a balanced life. I disagree with the superwoman comment, but I do think there are too many expectations and standards that women are being more or less forced to pursue and be. A female friend says she's decided not to ever have kids. Why can't you just say never have kids? Ugh. You tell her it's not up to her, it's up to her future husband. You caution her not to ignore life's greatest calling or she might regret it later. You support her in creating a life she loves no matter whether she gives birth. That she won't be able to resist the cuteness and she'll change her mind someday. Not have kids, that makes her basically without any life purpose. Wow. No, I'd back up my friend. I don't give a shit if they want to have kids. If they don't want to have kids, I'd be supportive. The biggest problem men face in relationships is women don't respect men enough, so men can't protect or be chivalrous like they used to. Men don't know how to teach women their place. It's in the kitchen. Wow. Many men can't express a full range of emotions because of cultural conditioning, which makes it hard to relate to women sometimes. Women think they can do and be everything and have less use for men. See, this one really had me till the end. I don't think there's a relating to women part that should be involved. But men are kind of geared by just society to be these tough people who they're the rock in everything, you know. I disagree with that. You should be able to express your emotions if you so choose. I don't think it's about respect, so I'm kind of left picking this one, even though I disagree with the end part. An ideal lifestyle for a woman is family first, then reboot a career after the kids are grown. Women should stay at home, raise kids, keep house, and also volunteer for church, civic, or other community groups. Women really shouldn't be involved in anything outside the home. Doing any combination of career, family, raising, or volunteer work that makes her happy. Finding a rich boyfriend to marry and live the good life. I'm gonna pick the combination, because you can do whatever the fuck you want to do if you want to do it.
Yeah, I'm just not having any luck dating.
I don't want your ads. Ugh. It looks like I'm gonna have to sit through this ad, so I'll pause the video for you guys. Alright, so according to this one, I'm a feminist. You're 100% feminist. You believe in the equality of both men and women. That's egalitarian. And you think that women deserve the same economical and social rights as everyone else. Everyone else, so men. Also an egalitarian statement. You don't hate either gender, and you certainly don't feel the need to put men down, make men feel bad, or tell women how to live their lives. You just want everyone to know the excitement of a world filled with possibility and choices. You also think it's pretty awesome that women can vote, own their own property, drive cars, testify in court in many countries, thanks to decades of support for feminism, the idea that women are people too. I disagree with all of this. They use several statements that are egalitarian. Nothing about feminism has to do with everyone else or equality for men and women. Literally, this statement right here, that's not feminism. Like I said earlier, it's the equality of women to men. Like, stop changing your definitions, guys. Alright, on to the final one. So this one is from gotoquiz.com. Are you a feminist? Maybe you think feminism is dead. Maybe you think it was a fad, something that was all the rage in the 60s, but now women have all they need. On the other hand, maybe you think that women still have a long way to go. Maybe you don't care and women's rights are not important to you. This quiz will prove whether or not you care. Do you consider yourself a feminist? Do you think you know what it means to be one? Take this quiz and find out. What is your age? Well, I'm 21. What's your gender? Female. Why should that matter? What is a feminist? Modern or what? Someone who hates men, a woman who thinks women are better than men, a woman who wants to improve the role of women in society, a lesbian with an attitude problem, or a girl who can't get a date. Well, are you asking me what a classic feminist is, or what a modern one is? Because those are very different answers. Oh, man. I mean, the first two are modern feminists. They're fucking man-haters. But classic feminist, a woman who wants to improve, or a man who wants to improve the role of women in society. Gender roles are accurate. Women should be passive, quiet, and less opinionated, and men should be aggressive and the decision makers. Sorry, dyslexic. Something we are born with. Women are naturally passive, weaker, and submissive, and men are naturally aggressive and stronger. Completely man-made, there are no such things as gender roles. Ingrained in our brains as little kids so that they become second nature, but actually they limit and constrict women and assign them to imaginary roles. Good, so that women know that men are in charge and their role is at home and in the kitchen. None of these are correct. Gender roles are based on biological features. It boils down to what our brains are geared to doing. If you go watch my gender video, toward the end I comment on differences in male and female brains and what those differences mean. Men are geared toward hero roles, women are geared toward nurturing and educating. So there's no real answer that I can completely agree with. It is something we're born with, but I don't agree that women are passive, weak, and submissive while men are aggressive and strong. I do agree that men have the capacity to be more aggressive and stronger in a fight or flight sort of way. But I'm really struggling to pick this one. And I don't necessarily think women should be passive. It's not something ingrained in our brains. And this whole in the kitchen shit. So I'm gonna have to go with this. It is kind of in us, but not fully how they're saying. If you discover that you and your friend are both interested in the same guy and he's playing mind games with both of you, suddenly the guy becomes more important for you than your friendship and you would rather have her mad at you and get the guy than keep her as a good friend, you realize that society always has women in a constant competition with one another and turns them against each other, so instead of chasing after this guy, you decide your friendship is more important. You attempt to sabotage your friend so the guy ends up not liking her. You don't say anything and you let the guy continue his game, but all the while develop a strong anger for your so-called friend. You and your friend decide to confront this guy and tell him he either chooses one of you or gets neither because you refuse to let him tear your friendship apart. This is probably the closest to what I would do. I was never really into guys my own age. And I don't mean like, hey, if you're old enough to be my dad, hit me up, because no. I dated somebody who had already graduated at the end of my freshman year, and I dated them, I think, through part of my senior year. Actually, no, I had graduated dating that same person. But even after that, I went for people who were several years older than me, so I never would have run into this situation. I probably would have told my friend, hey, fucking go for it, or let's go tell this guy to stop playing games. So that's probably the closest. You and a few of your pals, really? Okay, are watching a typical movie where the guy is the superhero and the girl is desperate and needy, can't do anything for herself, and has her chest plopping out of her shirt for the majority of the film. You don't worry about it and enjoy watching the movie. Feel anger inside you that women are always depicted this way, but keep quiet as to not look weird in front of your friends. Are appalled that your girlfriends can just sit there eating their popcorn without once realizing that girls around the world are watching this, thinking that this is all a woman can and should live up to be. enjoy the woman's role in the movie and wish you could be playing her, wait till the movie is over and have a discussion with your friends over the demeaning way the media portrays women over a cup of coffee. Hope that she, along with other women in the movie, somehow get killed before it's over. Oh man. Okay. I mean, I'd probably just keep watching. I watch B-rate movies all the time, and because I watch B-rate movies, I'd probably hope that they get killed, which is awful. Totally awful. How do you feel about abortion? Oh boy, I bet my option isn't even here. I'm pro-choice. It's a woman's body and it's her choice, end of story. I am pro-life. Abortion is murder. This is called moral clarity. I think the government should decide that. I am pro-life unless the woman was raped. An exception may also be made if the mother's health is threatened. I do not have an opinion. Women who choose abortion are just promiscuous and heartless. Sorry guys, I'm having a lot of like dyslexic moments, making up words, choosing my own words. Well, my personal view is not on here. I am inwardly pro-life. I, for myself, dislike everything about abortion, but outwardly I'm pro-choice. I'll always vote that people should have the right to choose. However, I don't necessarily think it's strictly the woman's choice. I think at the end of the day, that's the one that matters because it is her body. I think abortion should be discussed by the couple, whether or not they're together, just for the sake of being fully aware of the situation and discussing it openly. So I'm a hit pro-choice, but just know I personally disagree with it. How do you feel about the birth control pill? It was a big step for the sexual freedom of women. Men in the government approved it at the time, not because they agreed with women's rights, but because the population was getting out of control and this seemed like a good way to control it. This needs an apostrophe. It's a way for women to sleep around and not get caught. I don't really think anything about it, I just use it. Well, damn. The last one is the closest, however, I do not use birth control pills. I don't really think much of it. It's kind of an if you want to use it, use it. I know far too many women and girls who get on the pill because they have awful cramps. Their periods are incredibly long or painful and just really inconvenient at the end of the day. Your boyfriend does something that really angers you, but when you start telling him why you're upset, he interrupts you and asks if you are on the rag or something. You ease up, maybe he's right, maybe you are just PMSing. Can't believe that he thinks your anger isn't legitimate, and he's trying to blame the fact that you're a woman, that needs an apostrophe and an E, for the reason for your outburst. Would never date someone who says something like that to you or who believes the stereotype that women are over-emotional and hysterical, are hurt by it but let it go. If he gets angry, he might leave you, then what will you do? What the fuck? I don't give a shit. Like, no. I'd fucking confront that. Well, I don't PMS. I don't really get all emotional, so I don't understand that. However, I don't think I would ever date somebody who thinks that way. I tend to date people who are very much like me. You do you, I do me. These things are just a reality of life. So, yeah. You dream of being a hairstylist, a kindergarten teacher, a secretary, a model, a singer, an exotic dancer, a lawyer, a doctor, a police officer, a CEO, a mother and a housewife, anything my husband or boyfriend wants me to be, anything I want to because only I decide. The closest is this one. I want to work in police dispatch. So that kind of flows in there. Kind of also flows with secretary, just a little bit. Not very much. But yeah, that's what I want to do. Originally, I would have said detective or unmanned aerial vehicle operator. So you can kind of tell where my mind works. A group of women are holding a march advocating for more empowerment for women in Africa. You join right in. It's not fair that women in underdeveloped countries do not have the education or materials to practice safe sex and control their destiny. Agree with their views but watch from a distance. Cheer them on but duck when the camera focuses on you. Don't stop to find out what the fuss is about, you've better things to do. Wish that these busybody feminists had better things to do. Throw something at them. Hmm. I would agree with their views, but probably from a distance. I don't necessarily want to get lumped in with feminists right now with how they are, but if this is what feminists become, I could totally support that. Unfortunately, that's not the reality. The reality is that they're very much not doing this. They don't advocate for women in other countries. A woman is running in an election. You are glad that a woman is a candidate, but don't think it would be wise to vote for her. Don't bother yourself about it, you don't vote anyway. Are completely against it. She should be completely against fighting back against terrorists. Wow, can you use that word more? Like, for real. We need someone strong in the office during these troubled times. Only a man could do the job. Proud to see a woman running, but wait and see both viewpoints before you make a decision. Vote for her all the way. If a woman is president, it would be a giant step for women everywhere. I said this during the 2016 election campaign season. If you vote for a woman, I don't English today. If you vote for a woman because she's a woman, you shouldn't be voting. I don't believe that you are informing yourself on all of the issues or what each party is doing. So there's that. I do vote, so I can't really click that. I would be glad that a woman is running, but I would want to see viewpoints from all of the parties, not both, because there are more than two parties. If you had a daughter, you would dress her up in pink and only let her play with dolls. Tell her she's so pretty and will one day make a good wife. Let her hear what she wants if it's reasonable, and let her choose whatever toys she wants to play with. Dress her in yellow to minimize the amount of gendered comments she receives, which can shape her self-image negatively even at a very young age. Tell her to be quiet and reserved at all times. To keep her opinions to herself? More like, and to keep her opinions to herself. Funny story. My parents couldn't fully see my gender before I was born. So my room was painted a very, very pale ice blue, kind of pastel, very, very light. I had teddy bears with the alphabet on yellow curtains, and I think I had a white crib. I had a lot of pastel blues and purples and yellows and pinks. And it was all regardless of gender that this was decided. Not only did I grow up with Barbie dolls, but I grew up with a train set, and I'm pretty sure I had several like remote control small RC car type things. I didn't have a gender forced on me. But here I am at 21, I wear makeup, but I'm also totally cool shooting guns with my dad and all of his buddies, you know. But if I had a daughter, I wouldn't dress her up in pink, because I fucking hate pink. If she likes it, good for her. She can make that decision when she's like 2 or 3 or whatever. I'd never tell her that she's so pretty and would one day make a good wife. That's a little weird. I'd let her wear whatever she wants to wear as long as it's like seasonally? Is that even a word? Just if it's logical for that time of year. And yeah, she can play with whatever the fuck she wants. I don't really agree that gendered comments and self-image is something that children worry about at a young age. I know it certainly never bothered me, but then again, I grew up very much in a gender-neutral world. I appreciated it. If you had a son, you would make sure he had a toy gun. Oh, I had a toy gun to play with and try to explain to him that it can be taken as a phallic symbol. Wow, that's gross. Make sure you teach him he is the boss and girls should listen to him. Explain to him at a young age that women should be treated with respect. Let him do what he wants. If he turns out to be a ladies' man, good for him. I'm kind of torn between the last two. However, I would teach any child, regardless of their gender, that people should be respected and treated appropriately. But more or less, I'd kind of let him do what he wants. If he gets out of line, I'd probably smack him upside the head, figuratively, not literally, because that's probably not what I would do. And tell him to not be a little asshole, in more child-appropriate words. You think that women are too pretty to ever get along, are too dumb to ever come to a logical agreement, are fine on their own but need a man to complete them, have been beaten down by society and to turn against each other but need to come together despite their differences, have come a long way and have finally reached equality. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have equality. I don't think women are too dumb to come to a logical agreement or that they're too petty. Did I say pretty? Yeah, petty. I think women are quite petty, and I've made that note several times through my life. But I don't agree that society has beaten women down and we need to come together and fuck that shit. We're equal. Oh man. There's a strong feminist side in you. Let it out. You're concerned about women's rights, but feel uneasy taking an active role as a feminist. You feel uneasy calling yourself a feminist because you don't want the labels that come with it. You're proud of the steps women have taken to achieve what they have so far, but feel that the worst is over. You have not realized yet the psychological role that society plays in degrading women in today's age. Hold up. Society doesn't fucking degrade women as heavily as people think. Where women are more inclined to turn against each other for the affections of a guy when they don't realize that in actuality they are constantly in competition with one another because that is how society made it. Okay. That is literally the longest fucking sentence I've ever seen. You're on the right track, but there are still so many things that you need to become aware of. You're a full-blooded feminist. You're being held back by society's constrictions. Are you a misogynist? So I got higher than full-blooded feminist base score. But goddamn, I disagree with so many things in feminism. Ugh. Just blech. Feminism. Oh, man. Well, that's gonna be it for this video. Like, comment, and share as you please. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye.